Because up next, we will now be hearing from the first Vice President for Filinvest Townships, Sir Don Ubaldo, about how the company has been committing to its sustainability goals, building sustainable and smart cities through the years. So, that being said, ladies and gentlemen, let's please welcome on stage Mr. Don Ubaldo.
Huwag kayong antokin sa akin, please. So, several items that I'm very much excited for this afternoon. Number one, first time to speak in front of students. So, maraming salamat for having us here. Number two, proud scholar ng bayan. So, it's an additional plus point for me to be here. And lastly, I've been part of Filinvest for more than 10 years already, and it's a proud moment for me to share a project that's very much close to my heart. So that's Filinvest City. So please indulge me for me to share the best practices that we have in Filinvest City. So again, good afternoon. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, UP faculty, and students watching in Zoom. I'm sure that our dear sustainability practitioners and members of the academe would all agree on the need to understand the roles of cities in the consumption of our natural resources. It's important that we, the developers, contribute to the global movement of conservation through intentional urban planning to ensure that there are enough resources left for the future generation, that's you, to continue thriving. Today, I will be sharing our experiences and learnings in greening the future. And through this, we hope to show the future designers, the architects, the engineers, and leaders in this audience actionable models and best practices in creating future-ready cities. Even at the onset of planning Filinvest City, and long before buzzwords on sustainability and green building certification became business norms, our owners already understood the importance of environmental consciousness and how it ties to better health and convenient city living. Over the years, we have deliberately worked towards integrating this in our developments by working with our design and tech partners, by working with the LGU and the community itself. Filinvest City was established in 1995 as a joint venture between the Republic of the Philippines through the Department of Environment and Natural Resources and the Gutianon family to transform the 244-hectare Alabang stock farm into a hub for sustainable economic growth. We built around the existing topography, incorporating the natural environment into our design, preserving most of the trees and the existing river into the master plan. Filinvest City has been intrinsically designed to be people-centric, nature-inspired, and enable mobility, which are all characteristics of sustainable development. Allow me to walk you through three characteristics following our three big moves. First big move is the districting. Filinvest City has always been separated into smaller districts. Each contains all the essentials needed by the community, and each with its own character contributing to the completeness of the city. We have the Spectrum District, where our high-rise offices and residential buildings are located. We have Northgate, which houses the premier IT BPO park known as Northgate Cyber Zone. The Civic Plaza, where hospitals and civic offices like the fire and police stations can be found. Westgate, the high-end and lifestyle district of Filinvest City. The Woods, a campus-type district where RITM and FEU Alabang can be found. The Palms District, the highest point of Filinvest City, home of exclusive and high-end residential developments, and the Country Club. South Station, the entryway to the city and our transportation hub. And lastly, the city center where the biggest regional mall, Festival Alabang, is. The live, work, play concept is a reality over these districts, with each having different residential offerings that cater to the demand of the community. Take Northgate, for example. While it is known as the district for IT BPO offices, you can find hotels and residential options in the area, retail options for dining, and as well as pocket parks. These self-sustaining districts were also planned to drive a modal shift in mobility, encouraging walking to lessen carbon emissions, maintain better air quality, and promote health and wellness among our citizens. Moving on to the second big move, the green system. As we push for pedestrianization, we ensure that we integrate all modes of mobility and city landscaping into the master plan. We have 3 canopied walkways that connect our parks, which create an interlinked park system that traverses the city end to end. We have several major parks in the city. The Water Garden and River Park were developed surrounding a body of water that traverses the city and remains home to migratory birds and even turtles to this day. The Spectrum Linear Park is a 3-section linear park that spans almost 1 kilometer from north to south of the city, with 3-lined landscape pathways, lighted seating areas, and stimulating outdoor art installations. The Central Park is the heart of Filinvest City. It's an expansive open park that branches out to pedestrian walkways and bicycle lanes. And soon, a dome structure will be built for community events and cultural festivities. This park is Filinvest City's most evocative expression of giving back to the city, giving back to the community, a place where the community converges and a place where it's surrounded by nature still. The Creekside Park, stretching further down the Spectrum Linear Park, it connects to the creek and it will soon be constructed and will complete the interlinked parks in our master plan. So this innovative network of parks is literally a connector of the community, linking various districts and providing better pedestrian experience to the community. The third big move is landmarking. I guess you've noticed by now that we have deliberately faced the development of parcels of land we own. So it is in this way that we can create shared community spaces, we can control congestion, and develop landmarks that bear the Filinvest identity of a sustainable and smart city. We have the Filinvest Access Towers in Northgate, a pioneer in EDGE-certified buildings in the Metro South. We merited this certification in part due to the implementation of a district cooling system we developed in partnership with ENGIE, a France-based energy service provider. The DCS lowers our carbon footprint while still providing energy-efficient cooling technology for Northgate. At the city center, we have Festival Alabang. It's the largest shopping and dining destination in the South. Again, working with ENGIE, Filinvest also implemented a solar rooftop project, shifting our energy consumption into renewable energy sources. The initiative services 28% of Festival Alabang's energy requirement during its peak hours and decreases carbon emissions by 41,000 tons, equivalent to 9,000 cars off the street. Also in the city center is the Our Lady of Lourdes Chapel, an architectural marvel that makes use of abundant natural light through its stained glass windows. These landmarks elevate the quality of life in Filinvest City, and its contribution to our sustainability goals have merited us a LEED Gold certification for neighborhood development and 3-star Verde District certification, making Filinvest City the first and only central business district to be awarded both. Everything that I've shared up until now has to do with Filinvest City's hardware. Our intrinsically green master plan principles and the technology that we and our esteemed partners have invested in. This is just one half of our sustainability equation. The other half has to do with the software, which consists of how our estate management team runs the city and how we work with the LGU and the community in integrating sustainability in day-to-day living. We tap partners and introduced Filinvest 360 EcoLoop, the first electric intra-city shuttle service in the country. Just a quick trivia time. When we were coining this, the name for our EcoLoop, we took inspiration sa UP Ikot. So ayaw namin galing si Ikot, kaya ginawa na lang namin na 360 siya. So yun ang kwento niya. So Filinvest 360 EcoLoop, that's the first electric intra-city shuttle service in the country. This inclusive transportation within the city lessens the need for private vehicles. We also recently inaugurated our EV charging station to encourage the use of low carbon emission vehicles. We have bike lanes integrated with our sidewalks and streets for another carbon neutral alternative. An effective estate management team runs the city with risk mitigation efforts in place, ensuring the safety and security of our citizens. We have the City Fire Station of the Bureau of Fire Protection and Asian Hospital, a world-class health provider along Civic Drive. Flood prevention is also incorporated in the River Park's designs with its dams and weirs. There is a central command center as well, allowing for faster response time to emergencies and proactively help in manpower efficiency. We also have a city ambulance provided by our partner Lifeline. And together with the local government of Muntinlupa, efforts such as recycling drives in partnership with the Environmental Sanitation Center, and Laguna Lake cleanup drives in collaboration with the Lake Management Office are in place to enjoin the community in taking care of the city. Filinvest City has a variety of sustainable practices that help promote a more sustainable lifestyle and an eco-conscious community. So we are adapting the use of green currency, where the citizens can exchange their PET bottles for seeds or planters at our urban farm. We've also partnered with Green Ants Builders for repurposing our recyclables. The new sheds for our 360 EcoLoop are built with repurposed boards from sachets. As a flourishing garden metropolis and smart city in the making, the township is able to grow and support its citizens as it continually elevates our way of living through innovative sustainability practices, more green spaces, better infrastructure, and other community-focused developments. We have partnered with FDC Water Utilities and Hitachi Limited on our smart water solutions. It is unique in the seamless integration of sewage treatment and potable water production technologies, setting a new standard for environmentally responsible developments. It can process up to 15 million liters of water per day. This is the biggest to date in terms of scale. This project represents a remarkable leap forward in enhancing the well-being of our locators and residents. Our parks provide safe and inclusive spaces with access to free Wi-Fi and wireless charging stations. We will soon roll out the Filinvest City app that acts as a guide to the city where information is seamlessly integrated with our parking system, community transportation, and estate updates. We also plan to integrate smart systems in our lighting and irrigation to significantly decrease our consumption of finite resources. Sustainability is a long-term strategy for Filinvest City, and as time would show, the decision to make it greener and smarter has paid off greatly, leading greater value to our city, both in terms of our community's experience and in terms of excellent property appreciation. As Filinvest City's population grows exponentially, welcoming the thousands who flock to the city for work, play, or live, we are able to keep a relaxed, healthy, and vibrant environment that many professionals, residents, and stakeholders appreciate. As a trailblazer, Filinvest City has shown proof of concept that a live, work, play lifestyle where community, economy, and smart sustainable design come together seamlessly is truly possible. We aim to inspire other developers, future designers, builders, engineers, environmental advocates to join us in our sustainability and smart efforts in order to give the best of way of life possible for communities throughout the country and for the generations to come. Maraming salamat po.
And that was Sir Don Ubaldo. Thank you very much. So, Sir Don, we just have a few questions for you, if you don't mind.
Sure.
Okay. So I think first of all, so you mentioned and you discussed the master plans that Filinvest has. And kind of relating to that also for Filinvest Alabang's historical perspective, I guess how do you balance that? You know, so you have the new technology, the innovation, and all of these factors. How can you still inject evolution and change, but still maintain that historical value?
Thank you for that question. Like what I mentioned earlier, the foundations were laid earlier already. So we just kept on looking for areas to improve on. So that's where innovation comes in, and we always keep track of the latest technology for us to be able to keep up to date to the latest trends.
So it's really just improving on
Yes.
what is already existing,
Yes.
not necessarily removing or
Yes.
totally disregarding
Yes.
it. Okay, thank you. Just one more question. So it was very interesting and cool to see the first electric-powered transportation system.
you.
So does Filinvest actually have plans to replicate this in its other developments?
Yes, of course. Filinvest City is our proof of concept. So we already established our DNA as a township developer, and we plan to replicate everything in our other townships that we're managing and operating. So for one, we have in Mimosa, we have another township in Mimosa. We're partnering with a Japanese company for a loop within Clark, and we're doing trial runs right now. Another township is in Cebu. We're working with the local government for us to be able to improve accessibility in the South Road properties, the reclaimed area.
Okay. I'm sorry, sir, I didn't catch that earlier. So is this a free service or is this a paid service that you can avail of?
Free service for now.
Oh, wow. All right. So it is a free service for now. So if any of you find yourselves in Alabang or if you live there, be sure to check that out. Sir Don, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Greatly appreciate your time and your presentation from Filinvest. Thank you.
Thank you.
So...